Okay, up on the third floor, but no sizing today, no brushes, relax. We're gonna have a different stream today. Part of this that you actually haven't seen before, I think, I'm not quite sure. What we're gonna do today is this. We've got this paper that I sized yesterday. I've got to chop it today. It's got to be shipped today to Kanai-san. This is going to become more rickshaw cart prints. I've got to cut it in 4 and then I've got to press it. We've got to calendar it. I'm going to get my press ready. That's not going to take the full stream. So the next thing we're going to do is do some bonding. You and I are going to do some bonding together. And then some pressing. So it's trimming, bonding, pressing, all kinds of stuff going on this morning. This is the paper that got sized yesterday. It's still hanging up. I'm going to go and get it one at a time. We have our patented tool here because I've only got 2 hands and I've got to undo 3 clips. Back in a minute, go get some more. If you remember, no gluing today. This is the post-glue time. We've got the paper that we glued yesterday, and this is a chance to see it. You know, you saw me yesterday. I rubbed glue, I washed it, I put glue and put glue and put glue and put glue, and here they are. The sheets are fine. They don't stick together. They're stuck together at the top where the clips went. I don't have enough room on my bench here. How are we going to do this? And they're upside down, eh? So they're in pairs. Top one is face up, next one is upside down. So for those of you who are just showing up, what's going to happen on this morning's stream is a few things. I've got the paper I sized yesterday. I have to cut this to rough size for the prints. Each one of these will be cut in 4 pieces. Then I have to press it. I'm going to drag the press over here. We're going to calendar the paper, press it. Because it's got to be shipped this afternoon to Kanai-san. She wants to get started tomorrow on the next batch of prints. Then that won't take the full stream. So once I'm finished that job, I'm going to get some pieces of wood here. What did I do with them? I need some pieces of wood. We're going to bond them, ready for pressing. This is going to be for this year's gift print. Can you see the design? Not yet. Would you still do the same sizing you do for printing if you were going to paint on the mulberry paper? I have no idea. No idea what to say. The paper before sizing is very soft and weak. We size it partly so that we can physically rub it. But the sizing also helps that the pigment doesn't spread out. Paper that's not sized, you put a drop of ink on it, it's going to go blah, like blotting paper. The sizing stops it from doing that. No, I still don't know what to do with the gift bird. Okay, let's chop this. Now. What are we going to do here? Étonné. We need 205 and 175. What's that add up to? 205 and 175. $390. $380. I'll tell you what, let's go wide on this. Measure twice, cut once. Measure 3 times, cut once. Here's the part where I cut through my Ethernet cable. $15, $20, $205, $10, $5, $10, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18. Come on, Dave. The printers normally do all this stuff by themselves. They cut their own paper, of course. Let's get this out of the way. What are you doing, Dave? The printers normally cut their own paper, but I have to do this because we need this paper to be calendared, pressed before printing. We've got the press here, so I have to cut it in slices so it fits in the press. No shoe lady today. Sorry about that. Anticipation makes the heart. Oh, absence. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. this stuff out of the way. Now this is the most difficult part of my day's work, getting the press over here. I really do not like doing this by myself. Every now and then I pull my back out and spend the next few days staggering around the room. It's a heavy water. Okay, landing space ready. Ready? Yes. I do not like doing this. Actually, picking it up is okay. Getting it back there is trouble. Okay. Okay, explanation for those who have never seen this bar, or don't know what it is. The paper we get, the wash we get these days is, whatever, it's paper. The front surface is really quite rough. It's really quite rough compared to paper the way it used to be. And what we've been doing, the printers, before they start printing a batch of prints on it, they will usually get a blank board and they'll rub it with from the back with the barren to make the front surface quite smooth. But that's a lot of hard work for them. And also wears out their tools. So what we're doing these days is we just calendar it lightly. I've got a little etching press. It's a Dick Blick, it's called the Blick Econo Etch Model 2. Cost us a few $100 a few years ago. We had it shipped from Brazil. It's made in Brazil. Buy an etching press in Japan and it's going to cost you an absolute fortune. But we got this from Brazil. And it'll take me a minute to get it set here. And what we do is the paper just goes through in one pass. It's dry paper. Although you can calendar the paper like this after you've moistened it, but you really got to be careful because it's easy to squeeze it too much. So this is calendaring the surface, and it also squeezes the paper down a bit. It's not enough pressure to make it dead flat. I can't really show you because it's a piece of paper, you know. It's a bit light still. Just when the paper comes up now under the light, it's nothing I can show you. I'm sorry. It's got a really shine on this front surface. It's a little bit pressed. It has a much better body for their printing. It's so much more pleasant to print on. It sort of looks like old paper. When I first showed Kubota-san this, he said, "Where'd you get the old paper?" The warbling sound. It's from the what is it? There's an 8-story mall / department store about 2 blocks away, and they've got some freaking air conditioners or something running this morning. And we've about had enough. And me and Aoyama-san were thinking, can we get one of these sound meters and check it and talk to City Hall, because this is too much. I've got the windows closed. It's unbearable. It's 2 blocks away. Hey, what am I doing here? I need a place to put this down. Here, I'll just go there. I think what they do, this is the weekend. If something they do on the weekends, maybe they try and get rid of stuff that they can't get on a normal day, or I don't know, no idea. Unbearable. If I was like sleeping here, it's just... Yes, very nice. She's going to be so happy to get this, you know. I sleep on the second floor at the front of the building, near the drunks, on the noisy bar street. That's much quieter than this thing. All people live all around, you know. People living next door, both sides. There's houses all around here. Lots of the shops have people sleeping upstairs. This paper is going to become another batch of the print we call the rickshaw cart print. The first ones, the first issue in the Ukiyo-e Heroes. And Ukiyo-e Heroes has gone ballistic for us, absolutely ballistic. This will be the third time we've printed this in probably about 2 months. I don't remember the exact timing on it, but she's going to get the assignment from me tomorrow. All she knows at the moment is it's going to be a Heroes print, and she's not expecting it to be the same one again. So. How many rickshaws have we made? I can find out in a second. Go to my manager page, my top secret manager page, triple password protected manager page. Rickshaw cart sold so far is 1286, and making will be somewhat ahead of that. 1,286 have been sold. 1,337 have been made so far. It's the biggest in our. We're ahead of Great Wave. I don't have a count on how many Great Waves because we didn't count them at the beginning because of the Kickstarter campaign group. That's nothing still, you know. These blocks will do way, way, way more than that. And when we passed 1,000, I talked about this before at the time. When we just ran past 1,000, we were at 1050 or something like that. I sat down with a microscope and I inspected both the blocks and the prints that were coming off. We've got some prints left from the initial proofing 6 years ago. So some of the earliest copies off the blocks, and then some of the 1,200 copies off the blocks, and I can't find any difference. I can't find any difference. They're still fine. And we've talked about this a number of times. There's a few reasons why our blocks are not wearing so much. We print them in really small batches. We'll do 50 or 60. I think this is going to be 70 here. So we keep the batch counts low. The reason that's important is because when you're printing, you're throwing water on the block. It's getting wet, and it's getting soft. You print 1, you print 10, you print 20, you print 30. The block's getting wetter and wetter and wetter and softer and softer. And the wear comes easily, of course, after the block has become softened. So by keeping it to relatively small groups, 50, 60, 70, something like that, we minimize that block wear. That's one part of it. The other part, which I think is much more important, is the pigment we use for key blocks. Most printers here, for their black and for their key block, they use pigment they've mixed themselves. They used what's called orezumi. Ore means broken, sumi is sumi. And you know ink sticks, you've seen pictures of people doing calligraphy. They get the ink stick, they rub it to get black, put the brush in and they draw. And most printers here buy what's called orezumi, broken ink sticks from the company that supplies them. These are dirt cheap. It's like buying vegetables that are bruised, or broken cookies, you know, a bag of broken cookies or whatever. Your kids don't care they're broken, but they're much, much cheaper at the supermarket. So they buy orezumi. And they'll soak a bunch of it in a bowl for really literally months at a time, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Just soak it, soak it, soak it, soak it, soak it. Then you take a new bachi, mortar and pestle, and you just grind it into a smooth paste, wash out the glue, and then bingo, you've got your black pigment. The problem with this method is you're grinding it by hand. You get a bowl and a pestle and you grind it till it feels a bit smooth and okay. Now if you really are thorough about this, you'll grind it and keep grinding until it's totally perfectly smooth. Nobody does that. They just grind it till it feels a little bit smooth, then they use it. And to me, when, I of course used to do this by myself. And when you feel this stuff with your finger, dip your finger in and feel it, it's smooth, but it's not microscopically smooth. And I think the way most people do this is it's still there's little particles in there. And those particles are what do the wear on the blocks. Block wear is caused by pigment particles and brush hair. It's not caused by the rubbing at all on the back of the paper. So what we do for our key blocks is we use, I've got it here, we buy commercial calligraphy ink. The brand we use is Kaime Bokuju. Kaime is the brand name of Bokuju, Sumi Soup, whatever, Kaime Bokuju. And this stuff is commercially made in some giant factory, giant machines, and it's ground and ground and ground and ground and ground. And that stuff, if you get your eyes closed, you dip your finger in it, this feels like water. You cannot tell that it isn't water. It's so super finely ground. That's why we use that for our key blocks. To minimize the damage. When I chat with other printers about this, they say, well, it's not black enough. That's not rich black enough. You got to make your own sumi to make sure it's rich black enough. And again, I've talked about this. All the current printers in the traditional field, all of them, they're making their key blocks too black. If you look at any prints made in about the 80s, 90s, or whatever up to now, they print too black. They've lost the sense that the old ukiyo-e prints have a nice, beautifully gray-toned key block and black as a highlight when it needs to be black on a separate color block. Anyway, long story short. So our blocks, our key blocks, really do not wear much at all. These papers are all going face down, and on the metal bed is not smooth enough, so we've got a plastic, just a normal plastic sheet on the bed, face down, protective sheet, and it's just a standard felt, nothing. What is it, a 5mm felt? we doing? We're calendaring paper. We're making the top surface of the paper beautifully smooth and shiny. Again, it's a piece of paper. I don't know if you can see it at the camera, but trust me, the paper now is beautifully, beautifully smooth. Would we dehumidify wood blocks? I'm not quite sure what you mean. No, we start with wood that's at room temperature, room humidity, and we carve and we keep going. We store our blocks at room temperature, room humidity. Japan gets damp in the summer, dry in winter. We let the blocks do the same thing. The blocks just live in the same environment that we do. If we dried out our blocks, it'd be trouble, because when we start printing on them, we throw water all over the place. It would just be chaos. She's going to be so happy. Oh. Do I have desserts or do I have my beer and pie? Beer and pie, I'm not sure what you're after. I don't eat much sweet stuff these days, no. I used to be a sweets gobbler when I was back in Canada and when I first came to Japan. I used to be a real sweet gobbler. You'd buy a chocolate bar at a convenience store, I'd eat it walking down the street and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. No, I had a checkup, whatever. What do you call it? Ningen doc, human dry doc. We have these checkups in Japan. I went for one soon after coming to Japan. I was, 36 or something? I can't remember. When I came in 86, I was 35, whatever. And the health system sends you through these checks. So I got sent to one of these checkups. You know, stay in the hospital overnight and have the checkups. And the doc gave me the thing, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. No problems whatsoever. But he said, something looks funny, the way your body is processing sugar, it's too, spiky or whatever. He said, you eat a lot of sweets, right? I said, well, mumble. He said, cut it out. He said, you're okay, but if you keep eating that much sweet stuff and abusing your body like that, he said, you could, later on in life, you could develop, problems, some kind of diabetes or glycemia or whatever, I don't even know what he said. But it was common sense, don't keep stuffing your face full of chocolate bars or whatever. So I basically quit at that time, stopped putting sugar in my tea and stuff like that, So these days, I don't eat much sweet stuff. Paper pressing for the next batch of Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. You can tell by the size, the dimensions to show. These have to be sent to Kanai-san today. Kanai-san, you know, I don't know what you know about the names and the people. You never see Kanai-san. She works at home. And these days she lives out in Nagano Prefecture. She used to live in Tokyo here, in Fuchu. She was in our workshop here up until 2 years ago. She's the first of our girls that quit because they got pregnant. And that would be about 2 years ago. It was a real disappointment because she had become really, 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 really good. But when she got pregnant, that was it. She was the first one to go about 2 years ago. And she was gone from us for, you know, at least a year or so. She went home. We chat now and then on the phone or something, but she's gone. She couldn't do any work. And then, I don't know how long ago it was now. This is now September. So sometime this last summer, I guess, she called up one day and said, told us what she'd done. She'd moved back home to live with her mother. And she's got the kid now over a year old or whatever, a year and a half old or something. And she'd gone back home to live with her mother, and she said, can I have some work? And I'm like, you want to start printing again? She says, yeah. So I said, oh, think about it, whatever. So yeah, we sent her work, and we sent her a solid stream. She is now pretty much a complete full-time printer. She lives out in the country, living with her mother. The mother, you know, the grandmother is perfectly happy to take care of the kid. Grandmother's happy, kid's happy, Kanai-san's happy, we're happy. And people waiting for the rickshaw cart print are going to be happy. She's making a ton of money too. My God, she's making a ton of money. Just printing every day, non-stop. Living in the country, no expenses. Totally win-win-win-win situation. Kanai said, yeah, of course she does. We've outfitted her. She's got tools and supplies from us. We sent her, you know, we've shared supplies with her. She's got a couple of her own barons because she's an experienced printer. So she's got a couple of her own brushes. We outfitted her with the rest of it. So we send her pigments from here. She's super happy. A single mother, you know, I mean, what's she going to do to make a living? She's got the perfect job. We just ship everything back and forth to her. We ship her, you know, the Takuban services, the delivery services in Japan are really dead simple. I will wrap this, the staff downstairs will wrap this afternoon. The delivery service will pick it up from our shop here, and she'll have it tomorrow morning. We sent the blocks to her a couple of days ago. It was totally no problem. Delivery services. Japan's delivery service is fabulous. Risky. No. The other day here, Wednesday night, Shiba-san was here. You saw her doing the sizing. Shiba-san was here Wednesday night. And she lives out in Ome, near our Ome workshop. And Wednesday evening, she said, hey, I'm going out to Ome, the workshop tomorrow, Thursday. Anything you want me to take with you? And we looked at this, and it turned out, yeah, there was a bunch of stuff that had to go to Ome. But it was a bit too much to fit inside her backpack, so you can have a separate bag. So I said, no, we'll just ship it. It's safer. So shipping it, putting it in a box and calling the delivery service and shipping it overnight to Ome to arrive there was safer in my mind than her carrying it. It was late at night, she's going to forget, she leaves that thing on the train, and we are in trouble. So I just told her, no, we'll ship it, it's okay, it's safer. And she says, okay, I got you. This is not a government service. There's private companies doing the delivery, nothing to do with the government at all. They're extremely competitive. It's not dirt cheap, you pay for what you get, but it's stunningly, staggeringly reliable. Overnight to anywhere in the country except Okinawa, as long as you get it into their office by about 6 o'clock. Again, this isn't the post office. These are private parcel delivery companies, although the post office also competes with them. Okay, we're halfway through. 1 batch, 2 batch, 3 batches, 4 batches. You saw me cut it in 4 pieces. Some of these now are wider. The first batch we did are the normal size for our Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. This next batch is wider because what we want to do is we're going to start setting aside prints. We're ready to make another book, a bound book of Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. That's what these will be used for. Not all of them, but we'll get a batch out of these. What's the yay for? Because the idea of making more books, that's okay, but hold on, you know. The next books, production won't start until we have 20 Ukiyo-e Heroes prints ready. And I've got a bit of a conundrum now. We've got 17 Ukiyo-e Heroes prints now, or we will have 17 as soon as we finish the 2 souls entwined, the one that's on my desk. That'll be 17. And I want to do the books 10 and 10, so when we've got 3 more, when we've got 20. But at the moment, I don't have any plans for any more Ukiyo-e Heroes carving because Chon-san, our young carver, he's working on sushi cats. And there's going to be 3 sushi cats prints. Sushi cats, sake cats, and ramen cats. So what do we do? Do we do 2 volumes again? The first 10 Heroes prints, the second 7 Heroes prints, plus the sushi cats? Because they're going to be the same size. Does that make sense? Or should I wait until we've got more video game character prints after the actual Heroes prints are done? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It could be Ukiyo-e Heroes Volume 2 with 7 of them with a 3-print appendix of sushi cats. I don't know. Sailor Moon, no thank you, not going to happen, not on my watch. Not on my watch. You're just baiting me now. I'm not going to take the bait. No thanks. Is the stream today that boring that you've got to try and bait me into stuff? There's a ton of static electricity on this thing, and every time I touch it, I'm getting a shock. This rubbing it through must generate electricity or something. These plastic sheets, the humidity is fairly dry here today. So doing the rolling must generate electricity or something. And I touch it and get a shock. It's not going to be dry for much longer, a couple more days from now. Tomorrow, I guess, the typhoon news. We've got this monster. Did you see those pictures of this typhoon that's coming right towards me right now? I shouldn't talk about this. My mother's probably here. In my news feed this morning, I saw some pictures of this typhoon. There's a bunch of pictures taken from the space station. They're all over the internet. If you look just right now, I forget the name of the typhoon. What's it called? It begins with a T. I forget. What's it called? Trami. T-R-A-M-I. If you Google Trami photos or something to see the pictures that were taken from the space station yesterday, this is a big one. This is a big one. And it's headed right for us. Okay, my mother's not here today, so I can post this. It's okay. Here's the path. It's typhoon. We call it typhoon number 24 here in Japan. And it's expected to arrive here in Tokyo around somewhere maybe near midnight or something. No idea. Around the midnight on the 30th. Here's the, it's a Japanese page, Yahoo weather map, but you can see the route. So about Shiba-san's new print, yes, I saw it. I saw it. She showed me the proof copy. I saw it, but I had mixed feelings about it. Because these are her independent productions, they're not my publications. I'm not the editor. I can't say anything to her about how I think it should be, I have to stand back and just look at it. And I think there's lots of things I would change on it if I were the editor, if I were publishing that print. I think she's missed some impact. She's made everything very light, soft colors. The ghost print she did, the last one, the one with the ghost, the lady walking in the graveyard, It was all soft and smooth model colors, and it blended well, and it fit the theme. This next print is different. This print is a dramatic action print. There's a guy with an axe, there's blood, there's stuff happening. But she's done it all in the same soft, blendy colors. And I think it really, really weakens the action effect of the print. It's hard to even tell what's happening. You look at it, what's he doing? I see a guy, I see an axe, but what is that thing? I see a tree. And I think if I were an editor, I would ask her to make some of this much more vivid, much darker black, much more darker red. But I'm just blowing smoke here. It's none of my business. She's the artist, and she's getting real good reaction from the community out there. So I just keep quiet. I hear noise from downstairs. I hear heavy footsteps. That must be Ishikawa-san. I don't think, it's not Cameron-san. Cameron won't be here on the weekend. So I think it must be Ishikawa-san. There's no Sugu-san today. The dots today said Dei-chan and Ishikawa-san are coming. So I took their paper out. So stand by with your headphones. Ishikawa-san's coming closer. Headphone warning, headphone warning. The mic is up here, shouldn't be too bad, but be careful. Yeah, it's Ishikawa-san. I recognize the heavy footsteps. what she's going to be doing today, she's working on the November loot print, but she herself is also going to be using some of the same paper I sized yesterday. This batch is for Kanai-san. Another batch is for Tsushima-san. She's got to do some more of the I Choose You, the Pokemon print. And then Ishikawa-san needs some for November's loot print. December's loot print is still being carved. It's the tea lady, that's right, the tea lady. What's she doing down there? Maybe it wasn't her, maybe it was just rats. Oh, you're here. Did you come by? I didn't even notice. When did you sneak by? So, eh? Did you see that? She already went by behind me. I didn't even notice that. You came up so quietly. I heard heavy footsteps downstairs. 6枚は石川さんでしょ ?8 枚は津渋さん。そう。ごめん、6組でしょもちろん。いつもの方。We were waiting for you to come upstairs, didn't you? Yeah, she snuck by. She's in there. She's taking her paper down. Did I do this one already or not? It seems I did it. No. Yes. We were all ready for an explosion and she snuck by behind me. Shiba-san's work, Contented Spirit, is the one she did first. I mean, they made the previous one in her Ghost series. The new one, I don't know the name of the new one. It's something to do with a spider. I don't know the name, I'm sorry. I can't believe she got by me behind me without me noticing. retired print party. Yeah, the Momotaro. Momotaro is gone. Finished. Couple retired. It's gone to the print party heaven. The Peach Boy is dead. He did great service, fabulous service, brought so much pleasure and knowledge and education and laughing to so many people. But his day is done. At the moment on the party bench, it's the Asakusa on a souvenir print, the one about Senzoji Temple. And then over the next few days, I really have to get my acting gear on getting the microwave up and running, of course. It's waiting for me to finish off the preparation. And then we're starting the thoughts about what should we do for the next one, because we'll need more blocks. Propose in a print party? Am I ready for this? What if she says no? In the middle of a microwave party. Well, we got halfway there last year. You guys know about this, right? Classic Dave response. Well, what did I say? Did I spoil something? What do you mean the no? I don't know. I've never been in that position. I've never actually asked anybody to, will you marry me? I've been married once, but I didn't actually do that thing, will you marry me? Haven't had that experience. Never had a wedding. Never had a wedding ceremony, never had a wedding party. No, not the baby adoption. We talked about this. There was a couple who came here, was it earlier this year? And before they came, they said, will you, David, marry them? That was their first email to me. Dave, we're coming to Japan to get married. Will you marry us? I mean, I have no such function or ability, but it turned out that Cameron and I were their witnesses. The young couple got married here in Tokyo. They were Americans. They came here to get married, and they needed witnesses for their marriage. And it turns out that foreigners living in Japan can be witnesses. So after lots of discussion and planning and back and forth, Cameron and I went to the city office with them, and we were the witnesses to their marriage. So. Asking me, am I divorced? That's a question to me. Yes, I've been divorced for, what's this? This is 2018. I got divorced in 1993, so 25 years. I've been divorced for a quarter century. I've been single for a quarter century. Don't tell anybody. I don't know what's happening. There's 6 conversations going through it. I'm missing half of all of them. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, the lady and I were married for whatever, a number of years. In the end, it didn't last because I had made a life here and the kids had made a life here, and she didn't like Japan. She's the kind of Japanese that didn't like Japan. And then we'd also had a lot of stress in our life because it was too much work and things going on. So without telling a long story here, it's none of anybody's business. We ended up parting ways. She divorced and went back to Canada, found a new partner there. And I stayed here with the kids and brought them up here. So it wasn't a throwing plates kind of divorce. There was a lot of sadness. I've seen her a lot since then. When I go to visit the kids in Canada, I was there last year when my dad died. I went over there. I saw my ex-wife. And there's no rampant hostility and stuff. I hadn't realized it was so long. 25 years. My God, I hadn't realized it was so long. It's now something that happened to me when I was a young person. But those years with my little kids after I became single, those are absolutely golden years. They were so good. Whenever I see the kids now, we just reminisce about that stuff, how much fun we had. And one of my daughters is coming. Yeah, you'll have a chance to see her in the second week of October, third week of October. My younger daughter's coming, and she's bringing my granddaughter, my new granddaughter. So we'll have to have her on the stream one day. I'll do my work, whatever it is, carving or something, and my daughter can be the wingman on the stream. That'll be fun. You can poke her with all kinds of questions. What was Dave like as a daddy? Did he beat you? Whatever. I hope she'll cooperate. She should be fun to do that. That would really be a fun stream. She's going to be here for a few weeks, so she and her husband and my granddaughter are coming for, I think, 3 weeks. So they're going to be here for 4, 5, 6 days. Then they're going to travel around Japan. Then they're coming back at the end. I hope she'll agree to that. That would be good fun. Probably in the middle of it, she'll pop open and start feeding the baby or something. Who knows what we'll do. Yeah, then we're going to get Grandma from that end in Vancouver. We'll have 4 generations, 3 on camera and 1 looking from Vancouver. We have a real 4 generation stream from age 0 to 93. Okay, this is done. This is done. I got to remember to uncrack this, otherwise, of course, we squeeze the felt. Now, this is done. This is paper for Kanai-san. We're only at 9 o'clock, about a half an hour left. And as I said, for the rest of the stream, we're going to be doing some bonding. Let me clean this up, get out of the way, and we'll bond a new wood block. This is the part I can't do by myself. Ishikawa-san, ちょっとよくプレスをここまで2人で運ぶことお願いできますか？一人ですると腰がね、そうだからちょっとこれそう動きますからじゃあ let me tighten it down. Let me tighten it. Okay, can we do this? Yeah, you go there and we're going to move it straight to here, right? まっすぐね。持つのは It's okay. そういいですか？はい。Let's go. はい。よいしょ。Thank you very much. よかった。Thank you. Save my back. That little beast is heavy. Okay, now get the paper out of the way. Time to get ready for some bonding. So what we need is the wood to be bonded. piece of core plywood. Goods, what do we need? What do we need? What do we need? I need a mixing cup, my recipe card, the glues, and I think we have a crisis here, because I think Aoyama-san screwed up. Last time you saw me do this bonding on stream, I used nearly the end of a couple of cans, and I got the next couple of cans ready. Aoyama-san has now moved over. He's got rid of the other cans, and he's put 1 and 2, but he's put the same can. I know, you know, epoxies have part A and part B, and this is 2 cans of part A, it looks like. Here's the description. And he's got 2 parts that have the same description, and he's labeled them 1 and 2. Whereas one of the cans should be this character. So we're going to have to play this a little bit carefully here. What else do we need? We'll need the weigh scale. And I haven't got the inside piece. This is the new old wood. Yes, this is new old wood. Estimated time of preparation, early post-war, 50s, I guess. I don't really know. But I gotta get this cut down. What should I use? What tool? What tool? What tool? Where's a saw? I'll move over to back in a sec. Okay, now, what we're going to do is these blocks are going to be used for this year's gift print. So it's going to be postcard size. They're 31 long, so we'll have 2 faces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue them down together all in one, and then cut it apart when I'm finished. Now, how am I going to do this? What we're going to do is this. These are some of the blocks, we talked about this the other day, some of the blocks that we received from that old Kyoto workshop. Some were unplaned, they were just solid old blocks, like this. They had been carved and used on both sides. They were thicker than this one. And those ones, we were going to cut them in half, bond them on a base, and then plane it. But many of the blocks we got from these guys in Kyoto, they had already roughly planed them down. This is really bad news for us because it left them in such a thin condition that it was difficult for us to cut them in half. But Aoyama-san and I, the other day on Tuesday, we did. We managed to cut some of these in half. But we're running these through a bandsaw. We've got a table, we've got a fence, but still there's a bit of waveriness. So these lines, the cut line, is not, look at that, you can see there, it's not perfectly straight. Look at that. So what I can't do, I can't put this, we can't bond it this way. Another great wave order, whatever, I can't do. So what we're going to do is we're going to bond them this way. We're going to put the planed surfaces bonded down because they're flat. They'll make a perfect bond. Then once the block is finished, we will then plane them flat to get a good new wood block. So is the theory anyway. So let me mark these. This is A. There's A and B here. Now this is A, and that's A, and the direction is it's going to be that way up and that way up. This is going to be piece B. It's going to be like this way. Now, how much glue do we have to mix? Touch paper? You didn't say hello. Just take a little peek, say hello to you. This is Ishikawa-san, the tea lady. You remember her as a tea lady. No tea today yet? Oh, mada. Tea is coming later. We did this last week already, I'm trying to figure out. This is the equivalent of 2 Ikue Heroes prints. They're 19 by 26. This is 2 of them. Cut them in, A plus B, 1235 grams. Okay, so we need 25 grams of stuff to do one of these faces. We've got 2, so we need 50 grams of stuff to do this job. Okay. So the goal is 50 grams of glue, which means 25 grams of each type. What's the tool for opening these? Konbanwa is evening. It's morning. It's 9 o'clock in the morning here. Konnichiwa is the way to say things. know there's an easy way to tell this because these two components have dramatically different colors. One is white and one is golden. This is the clear one. Let's have a look and see what he's done. This is another clear one. This is the mistake. Let's crack this. There's no ventilation system here other than the fact that windows at both ends are open. This is the golden one. So he's done a mistake. So we'll do this. We'll just switch. There we go. Oh, I'm so disappointed in you for that. Okay. Now there's no heavy fumes on this, you know. We've got that thing is still running. This thing. Let me crack the window open even further. Okay, thank you. Yeah, maybe that thing's rolling down bit by bit. It didn't go off, right? But when you listen to it now, I think it's a lesser noise level than it was earlier this morning. So maybe it was cranking up to get the building heated up, ready for the day's businesses, and now it's run down to a maintenance level or something. I don't really know. I don't track it that carefully. I can only really hear it when I'm up in this room. I can't hear it from downstairs. No, that cap hadn't been used. It was a clean cap. These things, these are brand new cans. Hadn't been used yet. Okay, what did I say? 25 grams, right? Of each, making 50. This one has no odor whatsoever. The other can does. Okay, we're up to 28 here. Put that aside. It says, so now we want 56 to show. This one's much stickier. And again, no heavy fumes here, you know. I don't really think this is specifically dangerous, you know. The room, there's air passing over as I am right now. $46, 10 to go. 53. $56. I think we're good to go. Which one was which? That was one. They're two new lids, so no big deal. Now, mix the crap out of it, right? Mix, mix, mix until the cows come home. No, I won't be testing this with my fingers. No. It looks like honey at this point. Eh? Oh, before we do this, I forgot. There's something already in the press. We've got to take the older block out of the press. I don't know, what's today? Today's Saturday. On Thursday, Aoyama-san did a bunch of these blocks. He did a bunch of blocks for the next Ukiyo Heroes print. So we're going to have to do some camera moving here. Let's put this aside here. It's not going to dry for 24 hours anyway. So then we'll move the camera over to the press. You'll see me disassemble the press and take out whatever it was that he did yesterday. Put some lights on here. There's our paper storage stack. There's our pigment cabinet. Pigment cabinet's on wheels. And behind it is our press. As I said, something's in there. I'll need a hammer. that I forgot last week. And 2 glued up blocks. I'm not sure, am I on camera? Here we go. This is stuff that, here we are. So this is an old wood block. You can still see the original carved surface. We cut it in half with the bandsaw, put it down, bang, onto a plywood core. And we will now plane the top, plane the bottom for a brand new block. He did 2 of them at the same time. He did the other one, he did one of the blocks that had been previously planed, like the one you're going to see me do in a few minutes. Base plate, this paper. Okay, I'm ready. I can get mine glued up now. It'll be going in a few minutes. Let's put the camera back over at the workbench. I'm sure there's going to be enough people reminding me about the top plate this time around, right? Comments, comments, comments. Look at this top plate, top plate. Okay, okay, okay. It's nice to know that people care about me. Okay, now, this is A and A, B and B. So we take 1B, put it here, 1A, put it here. Put glue on them, put the plate down, and we'll do a B and an A, right? Is that what we're doing? And the side with the lettering on it goes into there. What could possibly go wrong? There it goes. They turned it off. Silence. No idea what it was. Some air conditioning unit, something. So remind me again, we're putting glue on the faces that have the lettering. Are they jerking me around or what? I better get some newspaper here, excuse me, protect my desk, hang on. What I'm going to do, I'd like these not to float around too much, so I think I'm going to tape them together on the back side here. 9:29, whatever. I'm just going to do my work. You can hang around if you like. A and B. Now A we've changed to put it inside to get that mark on the outside. A is going to change on the outside. Okay, let's go. I forgot I will need my I forgot that. I have to zero set this. Okay, so I keep going now till this goes down to 28. This is 39, so we have lots more still to go here. Oh, Daychan, I thought it was mouse. Hello, hello, good morning. You can say hello here. This is Daychan, printer Daychan, not shop Daychan. So, what's the job you're working on? So, next block, next block. Which job? Ah, she's working on catalog item number 11 for us. It's a bush warbler print. It's just about the right size and level for her to handle. Something interesting about this too, this is a piece of plywood that's going to go in the middle. And when I was, whenever I was making things with plywood before, I used to try and treat it like a normal piece of wood. In fact, look at this, we've got a long dimension and a short dimension. So for me, thinking the wood grain on the plywood should run with a long dimension to stop it from warping. But it's the other way around with these Japanese plywoods. The top layer is super thin, grain running this way. Bottom layer is super thin, grain running this way. Then there's 9 layers. So inside there are 5 layers with the grain that runs this way. And 4 layers with the grain that runs this way. So actually this wood structurally, this is the long dimension. A bit confusing, you know. I don't like what they do here. I would rather have the top layer show the proper grain direction of the wood. B and A was upside down now, and B is topside up. So B, so it goes on here, this way, and it goes on here, this way. So let's tape this together. Or should I just put the bond on there? It doesn't matter, right? Bottom of the barrel. Done. Looks edible. Let's go. In we go. That was me knocking over one of the sizing table covers. Okay, in she goes. plate. Seal.レイさん、ちょっといいですか？手がちょっと足りないですから。ちょっとパン。ほら、ここで。ちょっとパン。ちょ。はい、パン。アップダウン。はい。はい。どうぞ、もっと。ちょっと待って、僕ないよ。OK、いいよ。OK、大丈夫です。Thank you。はい、いいよ。Good. Now what's next? What is he doing next? These are next. Way to go. Sorry about that. It's really clunky, it's really clumsy, whatever. You know, we could buy a bigger hydraulic press or something, who knows, whatever. It's just fine. We do 1 or 2 wood blocks in the morning, they're ready the next day, we do another one. If it was a production business, you know, making wood blocks for sale or something, we couldn't play around like this, but it's fine. It does what we need to do. Those 2 blocks will come out of there. Those 2 blocks will come out of there tomorrow morning, head for the planer, And that's the wood that's going to be used for our gift print, for the first blocks for our gift print. I've missed the chat here at the end of this. People are asking what's going on, what's going on. Sorry about this, bit confusing for people that are just dropping by. Anyway, there it is. All right, today's Saturday. We've run this thing really, really late. We saw some pressing today and we saw some bonding. Tomorrow's stream, Sunday morning, it could be a few things. It could be, if all goes really well, well, no, it won't be preparatory. It won't be these blocks. They won't be ready tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I think it'll just be down carving, back on the carving bench. We've got the octopus dots going on, so I think that's probably what tomorrow's stream will be, Sunday morning. Then Monday morning stream might be carving of the gift print. These blocks will finally have made their way down to my carving bench and will be ready to work on it. So I think that's it. It's been a bit of a mixed up, chaotic stream today. Whatever, that's life. That's the way things go. There we are. So thanks very much. I got to clean up now and get down to the shop. It's going to be another insane day in the shop. Yesterday again, it was record breaking. I say that every day, and recently it's true every day. We're breaking records every day now as we come into our first autumn season down in our new shop on the first floor of the building. And it's going very, very well. Very, very well. The staff is just all desperate. Dave, what are we going to do? Where are we going to find enough prints? And that I don't know. We'll just keep trying. Okay, I'm rambling too much. I got to get to work. Thank you very much, gang, for watching. I'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same station, probably down on the first floor for a carving session. See you then. Bye for now. Time to get washed. Away we go. Checking out. Thank you.